Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today we are here for the start of the new season of the Pokemon Premier League, Division 2, Season 5. It is time for Parasect Germain to get redemption for the past few seasons where we have been destroyed by hacks, but no longer. This is the first week, as I say, of the new season, and what a game to start things off. It is against one of my best friends in the community, one of my very closest rivals. It is Onesie Banette, my boy Alex, and Birmingham Spritzee. Now, our journeys have been so very similar over the entire history of the PPL, so this game is always an absolute blast to take part in. His team that he can choose from is going to be Salamence, one of his Z-move users, Heatran, Clefable, Mega Gallade, Kamala, Vikavolt, another one of his Z-move users, Silvally, Seismitoad, Sneasel, Drifblim, and the Vileplume. Very threatening team. It is easily one of the top tier teams in this league, but I believe that we have another one of them, and I believe that we can take him on. So, let's take a look at the team I'm going to be using. As you'll see on screen, I'm not going to be doing team builder videos, by the way. It's just going to be this at the beginning of the battles. So, first up, we have the Mega Lopunny. Sarcasm is here with the Lopunite, of course. Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Iron Tail, and Return are on there. We've got 68 HP, Max Attack, Adamant, and the rest of the 188 EVs. They're going to be going into Speed. That is pretty much going to allow me to outpace anything on his team that is unboosted. Possibly, I think, apart from the Sneasel. Although I think I might outspeed that even still. No point going maxed out for anything using agility because I won't outspeed it anyway. And I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to be bringing that. We'll get onto that later. Yeah, this thing can really run riot against his team. Nothing particularly wants to take these hits. He's going to have to bring something very, very specialist for this, and I have ideas of what he's going to bring, but a lot of what he has is hit very hard by this guy. Megalop is not messing around, and as I say, I can afford to run that Adamant nature. Second up, we have Sneck Deep the Zygarde. This is a bit of an interesting set here. We have the Habanberry, 1000 Arrows, Iron Tail, Stone Edge, and Dragon Dance with Max Attack Adamant once again. 244 into speed there, and we've got the remaining 12 going to HP. I don't need Dragon Stab here. Outrage is not something I need or want. I don't really want to lock myself in, especially when he's got the likes of Heatran kicking around. That Clefable can be really dangerous as well if he wants to bring that. So yeah, 1000 Arrows is going to be my spammable move. This guy is probably even more dangerous than Lopunny in this battle. It can hit his team so very hard. The item, it's a difficult one. I feel like Salamence is going to be a bring here, and it's going to be a win condition for him. So I've set myself up to be able to live dragon hits, as opposed to bringing, say, Yachi Berry for a Sneasel, or any other kind of boosting item on there. I want to be able to set up on a potential Z Salamence and hopefully be able to get a sweep going. Next up, we have Newbury the Crobat. This is Adamant Banded Bat, and it hits like a truck. Cross Poison, Brave Bird, U-Turn, and Quick Attack on there. 20 in HP. Max Attack Adamant once again, 4 into each of the defenses, 228 is going into speed. That's allowing me to outpace pretty much everything on his team, I believe. Yeah, this thing just hits hard. It just hits hard. There's no other way around it. Banded Bat, especially because I have this speedy team, I can afford to run Adamant. So that's going to be really nice, hitting pretty much everything. You know, his only resist to this guy is the Heatran. And if I can wear that down, and especially if he's bringing a more offensive set, which I could see him doing, that Brave Bird is still doing actually a huge amount of damage. It's mental how much damage a Crobat can do when you invest as much as you possibly can and give it that boosting item. So that's Crobat. I need some special offense on the team next. We've gone for Primarina. We've got an Assault Vest defensive set actually. Moonblast, Scald, Ice Beam, and Energy Ball. Max HP, 172 into defense, 84 speed with a timid nature. That is allowing us to outspeed, I think, an uninvested Heatran. Which, again, I could see him bringing sort of bulky offensive Heatran if he wants to. Primarina actually has a really, really good matchup against his team, and the Assault Vest with max HP is going to allow me to take at least one hit from, I think, a non-Z Life Orb Vikavolt. Sorry, a non-Z or Life Orb Vikavolt. And yeah, this thing has a really good matchup. It's potentially, unless he brings something very specialist, this is probably going to be a lead for me. The only thing it really doesn't like on his team is that Vileplume. And I don't know if he's going to want to bring Vileplume because I think he's going to have other plans. But Primarina, can, even with no investment, base 126 special attack is allowing it to punch some holes. Next up, we have Messersprit, the Mesprit. This is going to be, again, a very physically defensive set with the leftovers. Ice Beam, Hidden Power Fighting, U-Turn and Stealth Rock. Max HP, 128 defense with that bold nature, and the rest of the 128, that's going to go into speed. I forget what I'm outpacing with that. Potentially Heatran, potentially a Seismitoad that's running sort of a decent amount of HP. Yeah, Mesprit, it's just there for utility. Ice and Fighting hit his team particularly hard. U-Turn there for the initiative if he wants to go into the Clefable on it. Stealth Rock is nice against his team. You've got a Salamence, you've got a Heatran, that Vikavolt, the Sneasel, the Drifblim. All these things don't like rock, so I need it on my team. Finally, we have a bit of a special one. I'm bringing a meme early. We've got Scopelin's Ditto, which is an interesting bring. I'm very aware of that. I'm hoping to threaten him out with the idea of Scarf Ditto, and Scope Lens will allow me to nick boosts off like the Clefable, any kind of defensive setup that he's got going on, and hit through it, hopefully landing myself a crit or two. So that is the plan for this team. Looking at Alex's team, there are some things I'm absolutely almost certain he's going to bring. First on his list, I would think, is going to be Sylvally Grass. It is a hard counter to the Zygarde, which otherwise can run train on his team, as I mentioned. The Salamence is going to be his main win condition, I would have thought. Heatran will be in there too, along with the Clefable. I can see him bringing the Vikavolt, I can see him bringing an Agility Vikavolt, for sure. And if he does that, I don't actually have much to play around it with the likes of Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz, and Hidden Power Ice for the Zygarde. Basically, I'm going to have to hope that Ditto can tank a hit. Don't often say that very much. You know, and hopefully the Assault Vest on Primarina can come through, and maybe the Banded Bat with Quick Attack will have to do some damage as well, but if he brings that, it's going to be a bit tricksy. His last Pokemon, pretty much guaranteed, I would have thought, to be the Seismitoad. It just has a particularly nice matchup against me. It can put in a lot of work, it can tank hits here and there, especially if it's like a Rocky Helmet set, potentially with the Poison Touch I think it has. You know, it can do nasty things to Megalop, it can do pretty nasty things to Zygarde, and yeah, I think it's just a really nice bring for him. So yeah, that is the team I've brought, that is the team I think he's going to bring. So without further ado, let's get right into the actual battle and see how things played out. So, here we are with the battle. You'll see me on the left. My name is not Shroom, it's not Dave, it is Leanne, because the wonderful Leanne Cassandora lent me her game because I haven't actually completed mine. I don't have the Mega Ring, so I needed to borrow hers. So Leanne, thank you ever so much. You're a star. Love you to pieces. There's my team on the left. As you can see on the right, Alex has decided to bring Heatran, Mega Gallade, Clefable, Salamence, Sylvally, and Seismitoad. So pretty much everything I expected. No Vikavolt. Really happy to see that because I feel fairly confident in being able to deal with the Mega Gallade. I feel okay about it. I have a number of things that can do a decent amount to it. You know, I've got things that are outspeeding it. You know, Crobat and Crobat and Megalop can really do a number to that Mega Gallade. He doesn't have too many answers to the Banded Bat, and he really doesn't have much for that Primarina, especially without the presence of the Vikavolt. So with that in mind, as I said in the team sort of team overview, Primarina is very much my lead in this matchup. So without further ado, once again, let's get into the battle. First battle of the new season for us in the PPL Division 2 Season 5. Let's get into it and see exactly what happens. Okay, here we are. Pokemon Trainer Onesie, my boy Alex, is going to be issuing his challenge. He's going to lead off with Crowler. That's going to be the Heatran. It's a great lead for me. I'm leading with Lagoon. That is my Primarina. The first Pokemon to hit PSG's field for this time in the PPL is going to be Primarina. I have no reason to overpredict first turn. I'm just going to go for the Scald. He's actually going to go into Sylvally, and it proves that it is that Grass Sylvally. I knew it was going to be Grass Sylvally. Gonna go for the Scald. Can I snag a cheeky burn? The answer is a resounding no. Now here, I'm going to predict him to go for the Parting Shot, and that's exactly what he does. I think he's going to make that prediction early on, expecting me to switch out. I'm not switching. I could take a hit anyway. So he's going to go for the Parting Shot, get on out of there, and he's going to go into his Clefable right about now, who is going to take an Ice Beam to the face, and is going to pretty much tank it pretty well. pretty well indeed. I don't particularly want to stay in here. I'm going to get on out and go into Mesprit, hoping to see exactly what he wants to do, and what he wants to do is just go for the Wish straight off the bat. This is fine. I'm okay with him setting off a Wish early on. He's got nothing that really to pass it into. And as he goes into Crowler, the Heatran, I am just going to early game get up my rocks, which is lovely. I'm quite happy getting rocks up. He's not going to get anything back from the Wish. We don't learn much about the Heatran at this time. We do learn that he has Toxic, and we do learn that he outspeeds my Mesprit, so he's got a little bit of speed investment in there. This is okay. I decided to just scope out what damage I could do with the Hidden Power Fighting, knowing he couldn't really touch me. So here's the Hidden Power Fighting, and it's going to do, after leftovers, probably just under 20%, which is fine. I'm okay with this, and I'm going to take a little bit of Toxic damage. Now here, he's actually going to predict me to hard switch, and he's going to go for a Toxic again, predicting my Primarina, but I'm just going to go for the U-turn. Again, no reason not to. It's going to do nothing, like maybe a couple of hit points of damage, but the important thing is, I'm going to get the switch initiative, and I'm going to go straight into my Zygarde early game, and just start hitting that 1000 arrows button. I have no reason not to do this, none in the slightest. He gets some leftovers back, but he's not staying in here, but once again, I'm not over-predicting at all. So, withdraws Crowler, the Heatran, and in comes Wallace. It is his go-to for this Zygarde. I knew it would be, the Sylvally Grass, who's, being chipped down a little bit. He takes the rocks damage. Here comes that beautiful 1000 arrows, and it's going to do, pretty much nothing. But again, he's being chipped down, and if I can avoid him getting a Wish, then we're going to be in a good position. I'm switching out. I know this thing has Ice Beam. It has to have Ice Beam. So I'm just going to go into my Mesprit, and he's actually going to go for Defog. I forgot Sylvally got Defog from the move tutors. So that's a nice bring on his part. We've seen 3 of his 4 moves. I'm expecting maybe Energy Ball as the last one. If it gets it, I forget if it does, but I'm assuming that it does, and that's going to be his full moveset. Either way, I can tank any hit, and he's actually going to reveal here that he has the multi-attack. He's obviously physically defensive. He's clearly a mixed set going on here. The multi-attack does nothing, and I'm just going to go for the U-turn, get on out of there, another little chip of damage onto this Sylvally Grass, wearing it down for the Zygarde, and now I have an early opportunity to get my Mega off with the Mega Lopunny. And he does not want to take this hit. He's going to die if I hit him, even if he's physically defensive. He's actually going to go here into the Salamence, which I was not entirely expecting. If I'd have gone for Ice Punch here, even with the Intimidate, he'd have been in a really rough position. So I'm going to Mega up, get my Mega off for the first time this season. There is that wonderfully powerful, scary Mega Lopunny. Again, if I'd gone for Ice Punch, it would have been in a good position. But I'm just going to go for the return. I saw, again, no real reason not to, and it does just a smidge under 50% for this guy. I don't want to stay in case he's Scarfed. So I'm going to get out of there and go into Mesprit to see exactly how Scarfed he is. And he's going to withdraw, implying maybe he's not. He's going to go into the Clefable, which is a fair enough switch. And Mesprit going to get a little bit of leftovers, and that toxic damage is going to reset to the beginning. So we've got Mesprit versus Clefable. I can't touch this guy at all, so I'm just going to click U-turn. I have no reason not to. Just in case he wants to be cheeky and pull the cheekiest of triple switches. So, going to get on out of there with the U-turn, and I'm going to go into my Crobat. A very offensive switch here, but he's just going to go for the Moonblast, and that's really not going to do too much damage to my delightful little bat here. So he is going to have to switch out. He doesn't want to take a hit, not with this, and he's going to go into his Heatran, which should be, a fairly useful stop to this guy. And I'm just going to click Brave Bird. And he's about to find out exactly how choice banded we are, because this does damage. That's big damage. That's a lot of damage. And he's going to get leftovers back. But I really want to keep Crobat around for another big hit here or there. And I don't know if a min roll will be enough to take him out. And I don't want to get burnt, so I'm just going to go into Lagoon. It's a very, very easy switch. And he's actually going to go for the Protect, which would have allowed him to live the subsequent hit anyway. So that's a good play on Alex's part. Now here, once again, no predicting, I'm just going to go for the Scald. He is going to Protect once again. Again, just to scout me out. He knows that I'm not choiced, but he just wants to see what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try and lull him into this false sense of security where I'm not over-predicting. And I haven't this game so far. So, with that in mind, here is where I'm going to predict him to go into the Seismitoad for the first time. Taking that Scald, giving him a free switch. In does come that Seismitoad, and we crash into him with an Energy Ball, absolutely blindside him, make the read, and that does big damage even through the Rindo Berry. That's big damage. He is going to outspeed us this next turn, and his main thing here is to get up his Stealth Rocks, assuming I don't have Default on my bat, which I don't. But I am going to take him out with the Energy Ball. It's at the trade-off for Rocks, but I'm okay with it, and the first KO for Parasect Germain this season is going to go to Primarina. Nicely done. 6-5 up. In comes the Clefable, and we're going to have a little bit of a standoff right about now, because I just want to test how much damage I can do to this guy. I'm not invested. If I was, this would be really nice for me. And it's just not going to quite do enough. But it's enough to 2-hit KO him from that range. But he is going to go for the Protect. And again, I'm not going to over-predict. He's actually just going to go for the Protect, revealing that as his third move. And I'm going to go for the Ice Beam, maybe predicting him to try and pass that into his Silver Valley. So I'm thinking his fourth move is probably Flamethrower in case I brought the Fortress. So I'm just going to go for the Moonblast and just kind of keep hammering away at this guy and see if I can make him break. But then he reveals his Calm Mind, and I'm like, okay. And, you know, I have a Ditto for this. As it turns out, Ditto would not have worked against this guy because he's unaware, which I completely spaced on. I'm going to keep clicking Moonblast, though. I'm going to be stubborn about this. I'm going to stay in, I'm going to keep clicking Moonblast, and here we get the special attack drop, which is grand, but he's still at +1 special defense. He's going to go for the Wish. And the Protect is very, very, very telegraphed right about now. So I'm going to pull a very offensive switch and go back into that big threat that is the Choice Banded Crobat, knowing the Protect is coming on his side. We take the Rocks damage, and there indeed is the Protect. Now here, I'm not going to mess around. He's going to get the Wish back to full, but I want to kill this thing. He is actually going to scout me. You know, he knows I'm Choice Banded from the damage I did to the Heatran. So he's going to go for the Protect as I go for the Cross Poison. And it doesn't do any damage. Now here, the switch into Heatran is so particularly telegraphed that I'm going to make a risky play and go into my Zygarde. If he goes for a Moonblast here, he does huge damage to me, but I'm fairly sure that Heatran is coming in to get a free switch on the Choice Locked Poison type attack. And that, you know, is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to bring in Crowler, the Heatran, and he's going to be face down with the Zygarde, who can once again just click 1,000 arrows. Now here, he is in fact going to go for the Protect, which is a fine play. It's going to get him back some leftovers. I was so close to clicking Dragon Dance, but I didn't. I clicked 1,000 arrows. If I clicked Dragon Dance there, like something would have had to die. He would have had to have sacked something. He didn't have anything to take that hit. Not in the slightest. But as it is, he now is going to be able to switch on out and go into Wallace the Silver Valley once more, who is still being chipped down. There's no more rocks, but I'm just clicking 1,000 arrows and being quite happy doing so. Here we go, it lands, and you know, it's not going to take him out, even the next one, and I can't afford to take an Ice Beam. Zygarde's too important. So, going to switch on out of there, go into my Mesprit, who is the next best thing I have to take this thing on, even when it's poisoned, even when it doesn't, when it's taking, you know, Stealth Rocks coming in. Ice Beam, not going to do a whole huge amount, and given the, you know, given my Mesprit, given that he's defensive, I'm certain I can take a hit coming up next, and he's going to reveal his fourth attack to be multi-attack. So he's got physical and special offense, which is fine. We can live that hit. I am just going to go for the U-turn, and that is in fact going to take out Wallace. So another stop to Zygarde is gone. And we're 6-4 up, and Mesprit picks up its first kill of the season. Now I have no reason not to go into Lagoon here. Primarina has been my go-to switch every single time there's a down. And he's going to bring in Treble Clef, which again is absolutely fine. And I'm going to keep on trying to start hammering away at this guy. So here comes the Moonblast. It's going to land, and it's a 2-hit KO, but he goes for the Calm Mind. And here I'm looking at the HP he's got, and I'm thinking, can I do it? Can I take him out from here? Is it possible, or do I go into Crobat? I'm going to go for the Moonblast instead. I'm not going to risk Crobat just yet. I'm going to go for the Moonblast. Can we take it out? It's achingly close. We get another special attack drop, which is nice, but here he is going to go for the Wish. And is he going to Protect? You know, I weighed it up, and I actually decided to stay in. He is going to go for the Protect as I went for the Moonblast. If I'd have gone into Crobat there, and he'd have just attacked, he would have taken me out, and, well, probably taken me out and got his Wish back anyway, so I figured I might as well just stick around and see what I could do. Now this is the moment where I'm going to switch out, expecting him to try and set up more in my face. I go into Crobat, it's a very risky play, it's a very offensive play, and it's not going to work out for me. He's going to go for the Moonblast, and he's going to nail my Crobat on the switch, not going for any more setup, and that is going to see Newbury the Crobat go down, which is unfortunate, but it's done a nice amount of damage. Now here, I'm going to go into my Mega Lop, because Iron Tail is a good attack to go for. I'm predicting the Berry. He's going to go for the Protect here, just to scout out and see if I have that Iron Tail, and I'm going to reveal here that I do have it. But he's clearly defensive, so I can live a Moonblast, so I can break the Berry and kill him next turn. Here comes the Iron Tail, and we miss. It's 75% accurate, which is okay, I guess, but it's unfortunate, because as you'll see, we do live that Moonblast quite handily. And we are going to hit the subsequent Iron Tail, and he has that Berry. If we'd have hit that previous attack, as you'll see here, we get a defense drop. If we'd have hit that previous attack, this Clefable would have been gone, and I would still have my Mega Lop as it is. I have to let Mega Lop go. I have to sack it off in order to weaken this Clefable more and put it in a position where I can revenge him with this guy. In comes Sneck Deep the Zygarde. It is 4-on-4 at the moment, and Zygarde is actually looking really good at this point. If I can get a Dragon Dance up at some point, then something's going down. He is going to withdraw. If I'd have set up a Dragon Dance there, I think I would have won this game straight up, right there and then. He's just going to sack off the Heatran here. It's time for him to sack it off, which is fine. 1000 Arrows is going to destroy the Heatran. It didn't have a chance of it, and we all know that. But by not clicking Dragon Dance there, I put myself in a really bad position, because now he's going to go into his Mega Gallade. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a problem. It's a massive problem, because I basically have to sack something, and it basically has to be Primarina. I could have sacked off something like the Mesprit, but I didn't want him setting up a sub, so I had to go straight into Primarina and try and tank a hit from if he'd gone for a sub. As it is, he's just going to go straight for the Ice Punch. Now we're going to take this very handily indeed, but at the range of health we are at, the Poison Jab I know he's packing is going to take us out from there. We can't live a Jolly Max invested one, and now we're in a pickle. Now we're in a real pickle. It's 3-on-3, but Alex really has the advantage. Now I have to go into Ditto, and I'm going to see that his moveset when I transform into him is Close Combat, Knock Off, Poison Jab and Ice Punch. He doesn't have Psycho Cut or Zen Headbutt. So he's going to go for Poison Jab and realise I'm not Scarfed. He's going to win that first Speed Tie, and I'm going to go for the Ice Punch. Yeah, I was looking for a freeze, I'm not going to deny it. But it's a 3-hit KO on either side. He's going to go for Poison Jab, he's going to win the second Speed Tie. Now, these two Speed Ties don't even matter, because I can live those hits. I go for the Poison Jab this time and do just a little bit more chip damage to him. And now this is the important one. Can I win the Speed Tie? No, I can't. He's going to win 3 in a row. And now comes the mind games. Ditto goes down, and now I have to bluff hard. I go into Zygarde. I have to bluff that I'm either Scarfed, Extreme Speed, or Yachi. I have to force him out. I have to force him out. If he stays in, he wins. Straight up. I have to force him out. And I do. I force out the Mega Gallade, and that is important. It gives me life, and he goes into exactly what I wanted to see. The Salamence. It's exactly what I wanted to see. He gets the Intimidate. I go for the 1000 Arrows. And this is not going to kill him, which again is weirdly exactly what I wanted to see, because he thought I was Yachi, which is why he switched out, fearing his Ice Punch wouldn't kill. He goes for Dragon Claw, and this is where we reveal the Habanberry. This Dragon Claw is going to come in and do nothing at all, and I am going to go for the Dragon Dance, and I have to hope and pray that he is not Scarfed. I'm predicting the Z-Ments. I have to pray he's not Scarfed. He gave a hint of it last time, and he switches out. He switches out. He's trying to Intimidate Juggle me. And now in comes that Unaware Clefable, but it doesn't matter, because at this point from that range at neutral, 1000 Arrows is going to take out the Clefable. Down it goes. We're in a 2v2 situation. Zygarde picks up its second kill, and here we go. In comes the Mega Gallade. Now, he doesn't stand a chance. He doesn't outspeed. He doesn't have priority. 1000 Arrows is going to come in here, and it's going to take out the Mega Gallade from that range. Easy win for the Zygarde against the Mega Gallade, and now it is 2v1, and I'm just praying, please don't be Scarfed. Please don't have been bluffing it. Please don't be Scarfed. The Intimidate from that range does not matter. Is he Scarfed? No! No, he is not Scarfed, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. 1000 Arrows is going to connect. Critical hit does not matter in the slightest. Down goes the Salamence, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the game. Whew! What a game it was. Oh my goodness. It's always a good one against Alex. Jesus, it was a good game. And we managed to take it 2-0. Zygarde putting in the finest of work. We got hacked out a little bit in the opening parts of the game, which didn't really matter. It got a bit hairy towards the end. I saw some opportunities watching it back where I could have won. And, I made a mistake bringing the Ditto I did because it wouldn't have worked against the Clefable. But it was the ability to bluff one of anything on Zygarde, none of which I had. Scarf, Yarchi, Extreme Speed. Didn't have any of them. Just had to make him believe I had one of them. That's all I had to make him believe. And he thought that I was going to be Yarchi Berry. And I just had to make him believe that that was what I had. And it's managed to work out. So, we're going to take the first game of the PPL season 2-0. It's good to have a good start again after a few bad ones. So, next time is going to be up against RTK and the Portland Timbers, another long-standing rival. We always have pretty good games. He's got a very, very scary team, and he's already used it fairly effectively. So, it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Look out for that next week, when we're going to be playing our second game and looking for another win. Links down in the description to my man Onesie Banette. Do make sure you go and check him out. He's a fantastic, fantastic person, very good friend of mine, and a fierce competitor and rival. So do check out his content. It is top tier. But I'm getting out of here. I've rambled on far too long. So thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you have enjoyed. And I guess with that, I'll see you next time. Laters.